A story within a story. Sitting with pen to paper, writing about the power that I tap into when I play energetically with others. Suddenly, out of seemingly nowhere, my mind found its way into a cut scene, a story of a very different kind. A 5-second download of vivid images, some of them static, some moving, which had taken me days to capture in a way that can even begin to be conveyed to others. I know not yet how to fully introduce this slice of my inner world, so, if I may, I'm simply going to dive right in. Welcome. I found myself in a cavern, transported there by my own imagination. It was not a place that I had ever truly been, and yet it was so familiar that I knew precisely where I was immediately. A rich, deep, blood-red cave, the walls gently pulsing with life. Looking closely out of the corner of my eye, I could make out the occasional horizontal off-white bar, a hint of the structure holding this cave in position. The solid thud-thud, thud-thud, thud-thud of a heartbeat, resonating across the living floor, spongy capillaries forming a curious shag-pile-like carpet across the surface of the cave, and yet the source of the noise was nowhere to be seen. I followed the vibrations to a box of sorts, hastily put together and yet somehow remaining intact as it swelled and contracted again with every pulse. I had found what I was looking for. The object of my quest was covered in layers of protection. Too many to see what was underneath. I saw the layers as planks of wood, hammered randomly across one another, as if frantically and urgently blocking out a dangerous beast or a zombie invasion. A piece of freshly sawn wood lay alongside, perhaps a sign of a recent attack as I investigated the construction. It appeared haphazard and rushed, with big cartoon-like nails only half hammered home, some bent and misshapen, patching up holes and gaps in the layers underneath. As I gradually worked my way through, prizing and wrenching them off with a crowbar, hurling them into a pile behind me, more and more layers were exposed. Yet somehow the package encasing that soft, beautiful, tender heart never got any smaller. Like a digital image of a fractal, endlessly expanding, removing the outer layers simply allowed the inner ones to grow and expand, to take up more space. And then, all of a sudden, the constant growth ceased. The last planks were pulled away and I was through. The heart pulsed bigger and bolder in gratitude, a thank you for being released from its wooden prison and allowed to expand. It swelled outwards, pulsing as it grew, filling the chest cavity with a warm and tender glow, finding a new resting place and making itself at home. I could not leave this heart unprotected in its current state. It had been encased for so long, it was not used to this bigger existence and would need time to adjust. So I got to work with the cast-off timber, building a bigger frame around it, and, like a game console character working at their tool bench in fast-forward mode, in the blink of an eye it was done. The frame was strong and solid, the structure allowed for flex. Fresh cladding could be added in time, or soft drapes perhaps, whatever level of protection the owner felt they needed. I stepped back and admired my handiwork, the heart radiating happily in its new home, before I stepped away entirely and left the vision. What just happened? I said to myself as I switched back into reality. That feels incredible. Just sit with it for a while, my inner guidance said with a smile. Just sit with it for a while, savour it, enjoy it, and see how it lands.